March 3rd, 2026. Lunar eclipse. It's about 7:32. It's supposed to go into full eclipse. Looks pretty weird. All red. Oh. Anyway. Yeah. Interesting. I'd almost forgot about it. I looked at my my phone. It said 7:31. It says, eclipse. It's a big old red moon. Really interesting how it works. I figured it'd just go dark, but nope. It's red. Sure that Mars isn't out of place? Oh, joke long. All right. Well, it's happening. So. I barely see it with my eyes, but the phone really intensifies the light, so we have that. Alright, there it is, there it was, and I'm just gonna sit here and watch it without recording.
So my vegetables are doing good. My chilies, my little Asian chilies, they're getting lots of blooms here and coming on. I got something planting here. I'm going to plant some more tomatoes. This is a mock orange, but it doesn't really produce anything. These are my bell peppers. These are my jalapenos. My cherry tomatoes, for some reason, seem to have died. This Filipino tomato. This green chili over here underneath all this okra that's taking over. I need to swap things around here. And then this tomato's doing really good. But these tomatoes are doing really well. But you can see I've got them tied up with rope and things, so I needed something a little better. Back in the US we had wire tomato cages, and it made it a little easier, but we'd put those in the ground as soon as we put our tomato plants in, and they'd grow within the cone-shaped wire cages. But I got to do something here. Even my native plants are getting big. And the okra, they're pretty much self-standing. And then this one, it's starting to come along really good. And out here in this pot, I'm gonna open my gate. I planted a bunch of papaya seeds. I'm getting papayas growing. They wouldn't grow in the cups when I was trying to grow them. And in fact, everything I've tried to do, most of what I've tried to do in the cups. Right here I had beefsteak tomatoes I was trying to grow. Nothing. And over here I've got a bunch of dirt. I've got two different types of dirt. Some really loamy stuff. It's in the shadow. Really loamy stuff, and then some more that's kind of like field dirt. But I have something here. I'm going to open it up and we'll see if this helps my tomatoes. Let's open this up. Another Lazada package. Gotta love Lazada. Of course, I've been ordering things from Temu and Shopee also. But it seems like for fast service, Temu is Lazada is the fast one. Okay, so each one of these, put it together, and it's a cage. I got 4 of them? Yeah. 4. So there's 18 pieces in each one of these. I'll show you how these work here. Go ahead and open this up. Yeah. That's why I brought the scissors out, right? If I can get it in the hole. No hair around it. Yeah. I've heard that one before. Heck with it. Let's just rip this, because they're going to get used anyway. So, I'll show you how these work, hopefully. I'm going to just grab 3 pieces, 4 pieces, 5 pieces, whatever. Or maybe 6. Yeah, it came out like that. Alright, I'm going to grab some of these. Alright, so set these down. These snap together like this. This snap in place. And then another one, snap in place. Hope I'm in frame. I can't see, the sun's too bright. Yeah, we're having a bright sunny day. We don't normally get cloudless days, but today is pretty bright and sunny. All right, snap in there. And then these, I believe, go right in here, snap in there. Put this one down so it's equal. And then snap in place. And then it'll sit around the hole. Now I found the hole. Okay. Anyway, sits on top of there, and then when you want to put your next layer on, these are kind of bent too. I'll straighten all these out before I use them. Your next layer, just put it in there, and then round she goes, right? Whatever. Anyway, you get the idea. So I'll put some of these together and we'll see if they actually hold up my tomatoes any. I figured this part right here should do okay. I'm just a little worried about the uprights, but yeah. All you got to really do is keep your tomato leaves all together in a bunch. And I've got several tomatoes in each one of those pots, which I should have thinned out and only had one, but I wanted to see if I'd grow 2 or 3 in each pot, and I do. So. All right, well, now I'll put this together. All right, so I got some of those in. I think it looks a little better. This one right here is so huge, though. I can't go above this shelf. But I also did my peppers. Yeah, they may be a little crooked. Whatever. Anyway, I'll pull that up. Anyway, and this, these. I did not do the okra, but I did do my chilies. I got all these. I moved my mostly dead cherry tomato. I got some seeds soaking, so I'm going to plant that again. And still have parts left over. So as these grow, as this one grows another few inches taller, I'll put another ring on there. Same with this one. Even my these are the green chilies. These are the jalapenos. These are the bell peppers, and probably even these native chilies. So all told, yeah, pretty much there. I might have to tie something up on this one too, but we'll see. I got rope and wires and things all holding it all up, but this at least keeps them a little bit more organized. At least I can get in there to water now. They weren't all draping over, and I think these will all benefit. So not bad, just a few $100 pesos. I don't know the exact price. I'll look here in a minute and post that up here. But yep, gardening with Jerry. So one of the problems with filling up a pot this size, and you can see my hand here how big it is on the side. I'm going to transplant some of the papayas that's growing in the outside pot into this one, but it's going to use a lot of dirt. Well, I had this plastic container, I had crackers in it, and I drilled a lot of holes in it all around, and I will set it right down in here, and I use less dirt. Water can still drain out, the papaya roots can grow around it, and I use less dirt. I'd like to have one more, but I've only got the one. But that'll work. That'll help a lot because I use like 5 bags of dirt in this other one out here. And you see it's not even full. But I'm going to dig out some of these papayas out of this one and transplant them into the other one. And I've got a bunch of tomato seeds that I've soaked. And those tomato seeds, well, for the cherry tomatoes, I got more seeds. I'm going to plant them in here. And then the beefsteak tomatoes, I'm going to plant those in here. So I'm just going to mix up the soil a little bit more. I got 50-50 of loam soil and the loam soil, which is really fine and powdery. And then this topsoil here, I'll mix it in a little bit better, spread it out. I'll just plant the seeds directly in there because it doesn't seem to be working when I was using the cups. And this one here is definitely dying. There's no bringing it back. So I'll just plant more seeds in with it. This thing can die all the way. It doesn't matter. Maybe it'll have some DNA in the soil and it'll help spark the others. But
these seem to be doing really good. As you can see, I've got a lot of blossoms on here, so I'm gonna have tomatoes here really soon, and I can't wait till my first 4 or 5 green tomatoes are on. See, I got some more blooms up here. This one right here, these are giant tomatoes. They came from China. It's supposed to be equivalent to about a beefsteak tomato, but I'm really looking forward to the giant tomatoes because the native Filipino tomatoes are only about this big around, but the giant ones will fill my hand, hopefully. And I've got okra coming on here. You can see the blooms. I had a bloom fall off, but you can see I've got more coming on. Won't be long before I have okra too. So my chilies, you can see or not, but I got a lot of little blooms coming on here, and everywhere there's a bloom, that means another chili's coming. And I can just about add one more layer to my supports here. But yeah, I got a lot of little blooms. I'm gonna have a lot of little chilies. I keep the bugs off of them. All right, let's see what happens here in a few weeks. See if my beefsteak tomatoes and my cherry tomatoes come back on. We have a long growing season, so I'm not really too worried about it. I'm hoping these things will last for months and months and months, not like in the U.S. where they come on about May to September and that was it. You know, it's a short growing season, but here we don't have snow, we don't have cold, so we'll see how that all works out. You can see I cut that leaf off. I got these little things growing here in the middle, and they're starting to do different things. I've got a couple of new babies coming on, and I just hope this other little one over here finally takes off. I've been fertilizing and stuff, but yeah, these they die off, and it's always the outermost one. You see down here, last one. And this one here will be dying off soon. You can see the leaves are already starting to go brown on the edges, and then this one will be the next one. And you see the leaves are already going brown. And then that one, the leaves are starting to go brown. So they die off, new babies come on, and I don't know what the heck these are. They're just kind of weird. I'd never seen my plant do this before, but learning as I go. And I got one in the back. It's going to die off too. You can't see it. It's way up there. And my climbers are going crazy. I've got to actually trim those. They're hanging out in the front. I'm already up to the pole up there. So they've reached their height. And that's going to be it. So, all right, gardening with Jerry. All right, so I filled this up with water. I'm going to let it drain down for a while. I filled this one up with water too. I'll let it drain down a little while. And then after it drains down, I will mix it in. It's got a mix of loam soil and regular topsoil. And I'll add a little bit more of each soil on top of it. Water it down one more time, and then by tomorrow, should be ready to plant both of these. Yay. Actually, this one here I can plant today. I've been watering that down every day when I water my other plants here. So as soon as that drains down a little bit, I'll mix it up one more time, smooth it out, plant the seeds. We'll see if my beefsteaks come up. Yay. But yeah, if they do, I should have something like this, right? And I'll have to order some more of these little doodads. Only got a few left. So, all right, this is how I do it. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I transplanted some of my papayas. I've got 5 locations here. Now, when these grow up a little bit more, probably about this high, I can thin them out, but I want to make sure that everything is doing well. Let's see, that guy, he's kind of coming out. We'll just tuck him back in there just a little bit. Rest easy, little papaya guy. Alright, so I transplanted those from my outside pot here. They're still pretty thick, but like I said, once they get up about this high, see, I had dirt on my hands. Yeah, see, never say I don't get dirt under my nails, right? I will thin these out once they get a little higher. Papayas usually grow straight up. They don't have a large root system, because you can go and take a papaya and rip it right out of the ground. Good pull. The root system is not big. That's why I decided to plant these in a pot. And they usually only get up about 2 meters. Some I've seen 3. And these up here, that's almost 4.5 meters up to the top of that leaf up there, so just give you an idea. This tree right here, it's if it's standing straight up, it's just around 3 meters, so it won't be terrible. So we'll see how these papayas do. I've got great hope. It's not my favorite fruit, but I'm not going to grow a mango. That really is one of my favorites. I'm thinking about getting blueberries and planting them in a big pot like this white one here. I have room. And I love blueberries. So you see I'm starting to get blossom here on my, well, I guess that's a leaf. Never mind. It's a leaf with some blight on it. I'll have to cut that off. Thought it was a blossom. Yeah, I got a couple of leaves with some blight. And I don't know what's going on with my bell peppers. I got a couple of leaves there that I got to cut off. If you don't cut these off, then they'll spread to the rest of the plant. So we'll see if anything comes up in here. My cherry tomatoes, and over here my beefsteak tomatoes. But I did some cleanup. I had this whole area was covered in ash and leaves. This time of the year, the farmers burn their fields, and with the wind blowing, look over here. See that leaf, the banana leaf over there blowing. So this time of the year, with the east wind blowing, coming from this direction, the fields are all out there. The ash just blows right in here, and this just seems to be the big garbage collector in here. And I've got it all cleaned out now, but we'll see how much longer. In fact, there's a little piece of ash down there, just blew in not too long ago. Always something to do here at the farm. Yeah, right, farm. Green Acres is the place for me. Sorry. Always something to do here at the hacienda.